announcing a workshop in lighting techniques. One of the subjects covered in the workshop will be the use of the green screen to change the background. Let's try this. How about that? What about that? What about that? Hi. Well, at least we got good weather. Today we're going to introduce a new workshop that's being sponsored by the Video Club of Laguna Woods. It's a very special one that I think some people are going to be very interested in. It's about lighting. Now, this is going to be really a very special course. It's hands-on. At the beginning of each session, there'll be a very brief lecture in which the instructor will tell you what your assignment's going to be for the next week, and then ask you if you have any questions and just turn you loose. There'll be some qualified people there to answer any questions that you may have, but it's practical learning experience. And the Video Club will supply all the equipment you need for the workshop. Now, at the beginning of the next session, everybody will present a little short 10-second video of what they did the previous time, and they'll be critiqued. So it's quite a learning experience. Now, this workshop is designed primarily for lighting. Of course, there's another important part, and that's camera, and another one, and that's sound. Sound we'll probably take up in a later workshop. And because most of the modern day cameras are automatic and do a really good job, it's not too much trouble to get good shots with a camera these days. Although we won't stress cameras as much as lighting, because lighting can make or break a scene. So an automatic camera can't really compensate for poor lighting. Now, we expect to have approximately 6 workshops, and in the first one, we're going to demonstrate or explain the 3-point lighting situation. 3-point lighting is, you see that in the television ads, you see it in movies. Rembrandt did it, and so this is a very important lighting concept to get. The first session will be in the studio so that you can practice with lights there. Hard lights like the Fresnel, or soft lights with the LED lights, and a combination of hard and soft lights. And then, of course, at the next session, you have a chance to show your work and have it critiqued. So, 3-point lighting is so important that we're going to devote 2 different workshops to it. The first one, as I mentioned, will be inside, and the second one will be outside using the sunlight. The sun would be the primary source then, and it represents some problems that you have to overcome, and so we're going to talk about that for a minute. As a matter of fact, if I can get some help, we'll try and set something up here right now. I should mention that today the Video Club is shooting a major film, and so there's a bunch of people here. I'm hoping they'll be willing to come over and help. I'm going to ask one of these people if they've heard about the lighting workshop. Terry, have you heard about our little lighting workshop we're going to be putting on?
Yeah, I heard about it. I'm looking forward to participating.
Wow, everybody's hearing about it. That's great. We'll see you then.
Okay, thanks.
Betsy, we're setting up down here, and I'm wondering if you could come over and help us for just a minute.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Just wait 1 moment, okay?
Okay, thanks. Over here we've got Jack. He's the Jack Kraubach. We're very lucky to have him. He's been in the business for 25 years. He's the guy who's going to be the our expert in camera work. He's a cameraman, and we're very lucky to have him. Well, let's get back to talking about the contents of the workshop. I mentioned the importance of three-point lighting, and I've got a little setup I've tried to put up over here that we're going to demonstrate the three-point lighting. At least I hope I can pull it off. Okay, Eric has been setting up some equipment that I brought in, and whoop, you're going to open that? We're going to see if we can make a demonstration here. Eric, I'm going to want you to take this chair and set it up in the sunlight, please. And then well, we're going to try using the sunlight as the key. Oh, hi.
Hi, Fred.
Yeah, we're going to try doing some three-point lighting this demonstration now, and I'd like it if you'd help me by moving that over here, and we'll get set up. You'll notice that we've placed Eric in a position here so that the sun, or the key light, is just coming down more or less through his the edge of his lips there, and that's kind of the telltale perfect way to set up a three-point shot. After you've set the key light, then add a fill light on the opposite side of the face. Then you add a rim light, generally behind and above on the same side as the fill light. Here is the result. The rim light helps make the subject stand out from the background. So that's kind of the way it's going to go in these workshops. It's each session you'll try it out and see if it works. It's hands-on. Oh, hey, Tom. I should mention that Tom Nash had 30 years of experience in teaching in the college level and about cinematography, so we're very lucky to have him here. And he's going to be leader of this group. Hi, Tom. You going to play a little golf?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
I'm want to interview you just a minute to see what you're going to be doing in this. So tell me a little bit about this workshop.
Well, this is a workshop in cinematography, and cinema is a kind of a general purpose word that means recording video by any means, so it's not necessarily film, but cinema is mainly about lighting.
Okay, so that's why we're having the workshop.
Right.
So who would this workshop be for? Who would be interested in it?
Well, anybody who shoots pictures or video in any form would benefit from this, because with today's modern cameras, you can get a good picture with just about hardly ever is a camera going to fail to get a picture, but the problem will be the lighting. So we're going to talk about cameras, but we're going to emphasize lighting.
And so where and when can we get to take this workshop?
Well, it's going to take place this late winter, early spring. Right now we're planning for 6 weeks. Actually, I need to go.
Okay, well, thanks, and have a good game.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
I think you're going to like taking classes with Tom. He's very knowledgeable. Well, we've covered the basics now. We, in the first two workshops, We plan the third workshop to start to challenge you a little bit more. We plan to have an interview situation in which there'll be perhaps 4 people sitting around a table facing each other, and you want to make each of them well lit so they look nice. And so we'll use over-the-shoulder shots of the person, and we'll try to do it with just 2 lights. And we'll see whether if you add a third light, for example, you can help things. So this is going to challenge you. It's going to give you one more problem to solve in the real life lighting world. Well, we've covered the first 3 sessions of the workshop. Now let's talk about the next 2. These are going to be interesting because it's going to be real life situation. By that I mean you're going to be given a script. It will be something that's maybe, I don't know, a couple of minutes long, and it'll have in it sort of a happy scene and a scary scene, and you will light the first scene in a nice airy way, and the scary part you'll light it so it's foreboding. So it's a way of using the lights to augment the mood of the film. Now, we're going to film these in an apartment or in a house, and these kinds of environment are very challenging. And one of the problems with this is that they're very small, confined spaces, and so it really challenges you. For example, if there's a mirror, you have to somehow work around that. Camera doesn't see it. This is your chance to work in a real environment when you're trying to shoot a script. And there'll be real actors from the old pros. And at the end of the session, you'll make a quick, dirty edit to show to the class the next time. This is going to be fun, and I know I'm going to learn something. And you know, it's amazing that right here in Laguna Woods we should have such a great opportunity. Now, the next subject I want to talk about is the 6th item on the session, and that will be green screen. Now, the green screen can be very challenging, and there's some difficulties with it, but I've got a little setup over here, and I thought I'd show it to you. You will start the project by going out and filming some backgrounds, and then you'll go into the studio to the club's green screen there in his studio, and you'll try to match the actor with the background that you took before. It sounds a little complicated, but I've got a little portable green screen here I'll show you. So the green screen is just like you see here in the background, and it's used to provide a different background than is really here. Right now we're in a sort of a hazy atmosphere, and so if you have a background on here, it should be a hazy background. If it's bright sunlight, it won't match. If there's sunlight and it's coming from there and I'm there, it's not going to work either. So there's a lot of tricky things, the focal length of the lens and that sort of thing. So we'll get into all of that. But first I just want to show you some of the things that can happen when you have a green screen. Let's try this. How about that? To be realistic, I should look a little wet. This would look more realistic if you could see some sun on me. Here we are at the rim of the Grand Canyon at sunrise. Realistic, don't you think? Green screen shots on the inside are difficult to make realistic. Here the lighting and perspective looks totally fake. Okay, I just want to mention a few other things. In case you haven't seen any of the dramatic films we've taken in the past, I thought I'd show you a couple of clips now.
You know, I've never lived anywhere except SoCal, but you know what they say, bloom where you're planted. Oh, you know, I'm a vegetarian consultant if you'd like your diet cleansed.
My diet is fine.
What about the luncheon?
I'm sorry, it's just too soon.
Of course, I understand. Well, thank you for the chat. Oh, by the way, I brought you this flyer. It's from the Wellness Club. They've got a mineral toxicity screening, and there's a lecture on opioid addiction. And then the wellness walk.
Thank you. April, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Bye.
You know you can't sleep in that position.
Oh, Paul. Well, thank you for coming again tonight. I really need you.
Hang in there, Mag. You got through the funeral.
But you don't understand, Paul. I can't make it here in Southern California. I know that you want to come back to your roots, but these are not my roots.
Melvin, where are you? It's been half an hour.
Here you are, Rose. An egg, bacon, potatoes, guacamole, and salsa on top. Voila!
And it took you that long to make it?
Well,
So, where's the toast? Oh, never mind, I'll get it.
You know, I think I'd better be going. I've got a big day tomorrow. Well, look, while I'm going out, why don't I take the garbage?
wait, I haven't told you about our vacation. It was sensational. The scenery was just gorgeous. The hotel was the best hotel we ever stayed at.
Maybe I'll go there myself. What was the name of the hotel?
Wait a minute, I have a picture of it, but it's a noun.
Never
you know
mind.
the trouble I have
I'll
with
just
nouns.
Google all the hotels in the
No,
area.
it's right on the tip of my tongue. What's the name of that flower? It's usually red, smells really nice, on a long stem. It's got a lot of thorns on it.
Oh, you mean a rose?
Yeah, Rose. What's the name of that hotel we stayed at?
You may wonder what it's like to work on a film crew while you're producing a scripted film. Well, I made a little film that shows the crew working on a film we called Hole in One. Let me show that to you.
Damn. Maybe I could move that stupid flag a little closer to the ball.
The community of Laguna Woods has many amenities like a golf course and a video club. Once a year, the video club produces a 15-minute scripted video. This provides the opportunity for many of the residents to make use of their talents. For example, there are a number of residents who are interested in writing. So each year the club calls for people to submit a script for the 15-minute film, which can be shot nearby and in the village. In 2021, Doug Sansbury submitted the winning script. He's a golfer too, so it's no surprise that his script centers around the golf course. The club was allowed on the golf course at specific times and with time limits. They weren't going to shut down for us. One of the locations was the pro golf teaching area, but only after the last class was completed. In shooting a movie, one of the most important variables is time. For example, the sun doesn't stay in the sky longer if the crew is running late. Now, any one of the club members could have shot and produced the script all by themselves, but it might take 3 or 4 months to do it. if the actors were willing to stick around that long. In order to work quickly, a crew is assembled, each with their own limited but important responsibility. The director, in this case Lucy Parker, sets the schedule and knows exactly how she wants each scene to look. She gives guidance to the actors so that her vision is actuated into reality. But there's more. Once on location, the director tells the director of photography, in this case Jack Crawbuck, her vision for the next scene. It's the director of photography's job to place the camera and the lighting to achieve her goal. And of course, when you get to the location, things happen that you didn't expect. To keep to the time schedule, you have to modify your vision on the spot. Or if there's an equipment failure, you have to replace it with a backup. Now, because this is a club and no one's getting paid, there's a social element to the production process. Refreshments are provided out of the club's treasury.
We need to get a reflector. Get a reflector over here to bounce it.
Reflectors and diffusers are used to control the lighting in the scene when you're outside. The execution of this function is done by a job called a grip. There are various colored reflective surfaces and also some translucent material.
Yeah, shoot some. Perfect. Now get it. Perfect, guys.
Talk? Okay. Stupid flag closer to the ball. But that would be cheating, wouldn't it? Yeah.
On this production, the sound man was using a tiny microphone hidden inside the shirt, and then a wireless radio sent the signal to a sound recorder.
4 o'clock rock.
Everyone is learning and contributing.
You want to use a boom?
Each function is important, just like each link in a chain is necessary for the chain to work.
And action.
Damn! Maybe I could move that stupid flag a little closer to the ball.
Now, there are many clubs in Laguna Woods with all kinds of different activities. There are several clubs for actors who put on plays. The video club draws its actors from the actors' clubs. Auditions are held, the cast is selected, and there are rehearsals going on long before the shooting starts. Now, since the club produces a scripted film like this once a year, few of the crew members have the job that they've been assigned. So they spend the first few days on the shoot being less than efficient as they figure out how to handle their responsibility. This video club is really quite an operation. It has both a lab and a studio that's dedicated to their club. The studio is very well outfitted, about like you'd find in a small commercial television station. In this particular production, there was a backup recording. One of the crew operated a long pole with a directional microphone on its far end. This microphone was positioned just out of the frame, pointing at the actor's mouth. Its signal also was sent wirelessly to the sound recorder. Now, of course, not all locations are outside. Some are inside. One interior was inside a member's home. Shooting inside presents some other challenges. They used one room for socializing and resting. For this scene, a bedroom was needed. Well, very few bedrooms are large enough to handle an entire film crew, and Even with a few inside, it was crowded. Often, extra lights are needed to provide the look the director has in mind. As in any scene, the position and orientation of the camera is critical, as is the focal length of the lens that they use. Each scene takes careful planning.
It's a lot easier. He doesn't want to spend the whole scene bent over.
Now you want to know what I wrote.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's raise that shot so we can see the top of it.
Inside, as well as outside, the actors have to tolerate waiting. Doug, the man on the right, wrote the script for today's event. This is the bouncer at the door of the bedroom.
We're not going to do any zooms, no movement. Everyone's going to run away.
Too much.
Too much. Down. Down. Okay.
Stop.
Okay. I give it a hair up, just a hair up.
That's good.
The snacks and lunches for the crew were the responsibility of one club member. Fantastic food. Now, the actors have developed their skills in a stage production, generally. When they get a role in a movie, they find they're working much differently. On stage, the curtain goes up, and the action takes on continuously until the curtain goes down. In a movie set, the actor has to wait until the crew is ready. Finally, the scene is ready to be shot. The continuity person logs each take and follows the script. Then it's quiet on the set. So in this video, we're introducing this new workshop in which we're going to teach some of the basic principles of lighting. If you have an iPhone or even an expensive professional camera or camcorder, you'll benefit from this course because lighting is so important. You can use it for your family or scripted film. Now, below, I'm showing you the sign-up information and the dates for which we'll be delivering this workshop.